Okay, so hey there, guys. Today is the Sabbath. So this is going to be reading Genesis chapter 2, verse 1, verses 1 through 3, and Mark chapter 2, verses 27 through 28. We live in a world where culture is defined by constant motion. Hurry in the background noise is the background noise of our modern existence. Exhaustion has become a status symbol. We measure our worth by our productivity, our calendars, and our output. Yet in the middle of our frantic striving, an ancient command echoes from the very beginning of time, a call to stop and breathe and remember. So, the first surprising truth about the Sabbath is when it was instituted, God did not command the Sabbath rest for the first time in the Ten Commandments at the Mount Sinai. He established it at the dawn of creation itself. He worked for 6 days, creating an order out of chaos, and on the seventh day, he rested. Did God rest because he was exhausted? Absolutely not. Infinite power never grows weary. God rested to celebrate, to enjoy his creation, to weave a rhythm of work and rest into the very fabric of human nature. In Exodus chapter 20, verses 9 through 10, it says, 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work. So, when Israel was freed from our 400 years of slavery in Egypt, Pharaoh had only one rule: more brick, no rest. To the Pharaoh, human beings were just mere tools of production. When God gave the Sabbath to Israel in Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 15, he linked it directly to their freedom. You shall remember that you are a slave in the land of Egypt, and the Lord your God brought you out. The Sabbath was God's declaration that his children were no longer slaves. Practicing the Sabbath is an act of holy resistance. It declares to our consumer-driven, achievement-obsessed world, by value, it is not defined by my output. I am a child of God, not a unit of production. So, by the time Jesus' religious leaders had transformed the Sabbath from a gracious gift into a heavy, legalistic burden with hundreds of restrictive rules, Jesus confronted this misunderstanding head on. When he declared the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath, so the Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath. That was said in Mark chapter 2, verse 27 through 28. So these are the four pillars of the Sabbath. So how do we practice the Sabbath in contemporary in Christian life? So stop, cease work, put down all toil, and stop everything, okay? Delight, enjoy creation, rest, and replenish body and mind, and contemplate worship and gratitude.